I've been dreaming about this since like I first saw UFC in 3rd grade. I was like, I want to do this, I think. I remember as a kid saying that to myself, like,
What do you think? You want to do this? You want to do this?
I want to need to do this.
Call you.
Thank you, sir.
You got a deal, brother. All right? All right.
Now I'm here, 28 years old. I wasn't elated when I got signed by Dana, and I'm happy, obviously. It's cool that I made it here, it's cool. But now it's time to like grind, conquer. So I'm ready. You know, a lot of people get to UFC and they flop, and I'm not gonna be one of those guys. So when I win the UFC title, then I'll be happy. When I become UFC champion, then I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe I'll crack a smile, but this really isn't about me. Like, yeah, I love fighting and I love to do this and I love the sport and I love everything about it and I want to make a living off of this and I want to be able to support a family one day from it. But at the end of the day, I'm just doing this to build a platform so I could help other people. And like I remember one time I went to rehab and one of the counselors was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I'm Jared Gordon from Queens, New York." And he was like, no, who are you? And I was like, "I'm a pro MMA fighter. I kick people's asses, and what do you mean, who am I? This is me, right? I'm here." And he's like, "Forget it," you know? And I'm like, what are these people talking about? You know, there's so much more behind these questions that being the hard-headed moron that I am, I couldn't see. So as time went on and I got sober and I realized what like life was all about, it's not about you. It's about everyone around you and helping other people. So my family was always there for me no matter what. When I first started getting into trouble and using drugs and drinking, they were there to help me. They gave and gave and gave, and I took and I took and I took. It came to a point where they said, "We can't do this anymore," and they said, "You gotta get out."
It was the most difficult moment. I actually called the police, and he wouldn't come out of his room, and he wouldn't, who am I to fight a fighter? I think it was 3 or 4 police officers came into the house, went up to his room, and escorted him out and told him to make sure he doesn't come back. That was the beginning of him turning himself around. To be able to, do a 360 and come out of that and be where he is now is I can't tell enough people that story.
Before I was just what they call white knuckling it. I was just doing it all on my own. I thought I had it figured out. Oh, I'm sober, all I have to do is train and I'll be all right. But I didn't have like guardrails set up to keep me on the road. So I was basically just like on a balance beam, and yeah, I was balanced for a while, and then as soon as something came and made me lose my balance, I fell off. Now I have walls set up where when things happen, I'm able to cope with them better. So martial arts is definitely one of the reasons why I am alive today, for sure, 100%. It's taught me lots of things about myself, physically, mentally, about life in general. But I need to do certain things every day in order to stay on track, and I try to the best of my ability.
Yeah, even today here before the interview, we were in a real pinch for time. He had to go to the gym. He had to get the workout in.
He has to be tough in the outside, but it's a really good balance, and I think all throughout he's a very well balanced individual. He has such a beautiful heart, and he's a great person inside. It's a lot of different layers in between, but it's all very worth it.
As brothers, I think we have a very different relationship. It goes back to like when I was saying Jared's like a growing onion in a sense. Like every time there's another fight or there's any kind of he goes to meet somebody or signing into the UFC, that onion's growing.
Every fight is bigger than the last. There's, you think, how can it get bigger than this? But the next one will just be bigger, and there's no turning back. And everyone is more important than the last one in its own way. It's a roller coaster. It's an emotional roller coaster. I don't know if you remember Channel 5, 10 o'clock news. Maybe it still happens. I don't even know. It always began, "Do you know where your children are?" It says that at the 10 o'clock news. Well, we finally know where they are. And that little thing of just knowing where your children are means a lot to a parent.
So I think Jared really comes back not just as a fighter stronger, but as a person in general.
It's not about me. If I'm doing this for me, then it's not going to work. So I know that once I finally see like the effect on other people in a positive way, then I'll be really happy.